Hi Aquarius, welcome back to Astrology 33 channel. This is your December 2021 tarot reading. Thank to those of you who like, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic crossbred as always, and I also pulled an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where you folks be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Alright, so we have Scorpio. And for you guys, that's actually your 10th house of career and social status. At the time of recording this, there's quite a bit of energy in there. We also have 8. So the 8th house, for you guys, that's actually Virgo energy. Nothing really going on there, astrologically speaking. But Scorpio is the natural ruler of the 8th house, so there's that. And we have Mars. So Mars is actually going to be in Scorpio for around the first half of December, and then it's actually going to move into Sagittarius. So that'll be your 10th house into your 11th house. All right, so we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have Strength, which is the major arcana card for Leo, and Judgment, which I usually view as the Scorpio energy. So I do have to say, given that for you guys, Leo is the opposite sign of relationships and partnerships, this could definitely point to a relationship from your past coming back around, resurfacing, maybe one that you didn't necessarily expect to resurface either. Now, it could just be due to the fact that we're going to have Venus retrograde in December, so that might bring things back up in that regard, but yeah, I feel like for the majority of you, it will be the connection physically returning. For some of you, there might be some restraint behind that, though, because, for example, we do see she's trying to close that lion's mouth. So for some of you, there might be that desire to go back to the past, but you might actually hold back from doing so, or the other person might feel the same way. But at a minimum, I would say it looks like there's a desire to return to a connection from the past. All right, in Challenger obstacle position, we have the 7 of Pentacles. So this is Taurus energy here, and it could point to some resistance around that. So what I mean by that is you could just be thinking back on, okay, maybe there was a lot of time invested in the connection, right? So in that regard, there might be the thought, well, maybe it's worth giving it another shot, right? But then if you also felt like that time, while it was lengthy, might have also been a bit exhausting, right? So you could be like, oh, all right, but yeah, we did have a long time together, but at the same time, it might have been a little bit draining at times, right? So you could be thinking about whether you want to invite that back into your lives or not. And of course, I was seeing this, quite frankly, as a bit more of a romantic relationship, but 7th house energy could be partnerships of all kinds. So for some of you, it could even be more related to your career, right? Maybe partnering up with someone that you worked with in the past, or maybe a career offer coming back around from the past in a field you might have worked in. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. In the foundation position, we have the 3 of Swords, Libra energy, and the 9 of Wands, Sagittarius energy. So yeah, looks like there was definitely disappointment around the situation, regardless of what it was. For some of you, might have actually taken place around the Libra season, especially because we had the Mercury retrograde during the Libra season, and this Venus retrograde is actually going to also make contact with Pluto and Chiron. So not exactly the same, but we could see those same themes pop back up. Now, yeah, seeing these 2 cards here, looks like there's definitely a feeling of being guarded on your part. This could be someone that you might have been friends with as well, or possibly they want to try to come back into your lives on a friendship level first, right? And you might be a little bit reluctant to do so because could still be those raw feelings around the situation. But yeah, for some of you, this could also say that you're trying to look at things from a higher perspective too, right? Like, okay, if this person's coming back around, what's the reason for that, right? Even if this is just in your mind, where maybe you haven't thought of this person for years and all of a sudden you're thinking about them, right? It could be like, all right, why is this coming back up for me now? All right, in the past position, we have the 6 of Swords. So this is actually Aquarius energy here, and what this could say is for a lot of you, you might have actually made peace with the situation in the past. You possibly might have even moved away from the area where you were in the relationship with this person, just feeling like you needed a fresh start. But yeah, at the very least, it looks like you might have felt like you made peace with this situation in some way. All right, in the present position, we have the 10 of Cups. So this is Pisces energy here. So if this is around finances, it looks like your finances might be going pretty well right now. But if it's around this connection as well, could just be saying that there is the potential for some happiness in this connection. You know, and for some of you, this might be someone from way, way back, right? Because if we look at the two children there, they have similar clothes to the adults. So it could just be one of those things where it could just be saying maybe whatever took place between the two of you in the past, maybe the two of you were just a lot younger then, right? So maybe there's been a lot of growth that you've both gone through separately at this point, and there could just be a reason why you're being brought back together. And I feel like that's what you guys could be evaluating as well. Like, okay, what's the reason for this, right? So in the near future position, we have the Two of Swords, Libra energy. So yeah, especially for you guys, since Libra energy is your ninth house, I feel like you are still trying to figure out, like, okay, what's the reason for this? Like, is this really meant to be, right? Is it just because of the retrograde? That's gonna be kind of the thought process you have, trying to figure out what's going on with this. You know, there could still be the reluctance to feel a certain way about the situation, but at the very least, it looks like it's staying on your mind, right? So you could just have the reluctance to open up to it emotionally. But at the very least, it seems to take a lot of your mind space up, like, okay, what's going on here? You know, and trying to figure out, do you want to open yourselves up to it? All right, in the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Nine of Swords. So, very similar theme to what I mentioned already with the Two of Swords energy. But yeah, I feel like this is just saying that it really is something that's on your mind. Even if you did have an encounter with this person, I feel like if that's the case, you might have not necessarily brushed them off, but I feel like you might not have really let them know what you were feeling outright. You know, so you might have just made it seem like, oh yeah, nice to see you, or something like that, right? But then you walk away from the situation, and then it's been on your mind ever since. You know, that's kind of the energy that I'm feeling with this. And I will say this is Gemini energy here, and we are going to have a full moon in Gemini in December, and it's actually going to be trine Jupiter in your sign. So that full moon could definitely help clear some things up for you guys in that regard. That'll be toward the end of Sagittarius season. All right. In the environment position, we have the Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, and Eight of Swords, more Gemini energy. So yeah, like I said, I feel like for a lot of you, you're just not quite sure what to think of this, right? It could have you feeling mixed emotions. Like I said, on one hand, you have the history with this person. On the other hand, but also we might not have left on the best of terms with each other, so there could be a lot of back and forth going on in your mind. But with all that said, it looks like there's the reluctance to open up too. And maybe because you don't even know how to move forward, right? Like, okay, could I even just start being friends with this person again, right? Or whatever the case may be. So that looks like what's on your mind. I would say for some of you, this could be the other person in the equation, especially if you guys were the ones who initially had the desire, right? You might be trying to hold yourselves back. If that's the case, looks like they might be a bit guarded as well, wouldn't necessarily know how to approach the situation either. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Three of Cups, Cancer energy, and the Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy. So yeah, I mean, this definitely looks like more of a hope, whereas that looks like more of a fear. But yeah, it could just be saying that you are hoping for, at the very least, some communication, right? A feeling of lightness, just be able to put the anxiety behind you, right? And then there's the fear of, okay, if I let this person back in, right, could it end up back at this point again, right? Because like I said, I do get the feeling that when the breakup happened between the two of you might have been a bit harsh. If this is around a business situation too, it could have been one of those things where maybe the situation might have left a bad taste in your mouths as far as maybe they made some promises to you and then they ended up never really fulfilling them, right? And then it could be one of those things where they might say, all right, at the time when you were with us, we couldn't necessarily afford to do X, Y, Z, right? But now the company's grown and we want to have you back on board. It could be one of those situations. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is Capricorn energy here too, and I will say, if nothing else, I feel like this points to you guys feeling stable and secure with yourselves. So it definitely looks like this will rattle you for a bit, where you're just gonna have a lot of thoughts going through your mind around what to do with the situation. But with this in the outcome position, it looks like all that will stabilize. Now, for some of you, especially since Capricorn energy is your 12th house, could just be saying that it's more of your mind being settled as opposed to something playing out in the tangible 3D world. But that's what I'm seeing with that. And let me see what else comes to mind with this. And if this is around finances, it looks like you will have some security with that too. And bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles, so more Capricorn energy here. Definitely more of a collaborative energy too, as opposed to, let's say, that Four of Pentacles, which we see is very closed off. And obviously a better 3 energy than the Three of Swords too. So yeah, it looks like you will be able to find some stability, whether it's through directly dealing with this person or going through whatever thought process you do to decide, hey, do I want to go down that path again? And if not, I feel like even at saying that, mentally you'll be a lot more calm and at ease and at peace with your decision. All right, moving on to your oracle card, we have soulmates. There's the artwork, and the number is 41. So we'll see what it says. Okay, it says harmonious partnerships, love, friendship, companionship, a relationship fostering personal growth. The Oracle's message: you are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. It is always a reciprocal experience, although the results for each of you will vary. You know these people by the strong pull drawing you toward them, and sometimes by a strong aversion to them initially too. Soulmates can be friends for life, or remain in your life for only a short time. No matter what, you will be changed in ways you can't possibly fathom now. Pay attention to these people today. They are your greatest gifts. So definitely a pretty positive message there. Especially where it did mention that just by saying soulmates, they could also be people that might remain in your life for a short time. So even if, like I said, if this is someone coming back from your past, you might even realize that the two of you have grown a lot. And whether or not that works out directly for your connection, at the very least, you could see your growth through the experiences that you guys have gone through over the years, and that could bring some peace to you as well. The relationship message says, consider love in the deepest sense, love so powerful that you will never be the same, regardless of how long your relationship lasts. Consider friendships and romantic bonds so compelling that they overwhelm you with gratitude, or break you open so you will finally claim who you are meant to be. Even a companion animal reminds you that it is you who is being rescued and healed. Pay attention, for you in the presence of a soulmate, come to guide you home to the real you. So again, pretty positive message there as well, and it does look like this is a pretty powerful energy that you guys will be experiencing, so hopefully that resonated. The prosperity message says, strategic alliances are most important right now as you begin to attract the perfect people to support your dreams. This is a journey you will share with others. Mentors, business partners, helpers, employees, creative partners, friends, and strangers open doors for you and step through the portal to join you in a harmonic dance of collaboration, commitment, and co-creation. This is what you've been waiting for. So, pretty positive message there as well. And part of this could just be, I am recording this before we're officially out of Scorpio season, so some of that, especially the prosperity part, could just be pointing to the fact that there's so much energy in your 10th house at the time I'm recording this too. So, hopefully that resonated. All right, and lastly, we have a Mudra for you guys. So, this is your mudra here. It's the Chin mudra, and the keyword for it is awareness. All right, and let's see if we get it to focus. There we go. All right, so if you want to pause it or take a screenshot, you can. But under benefits, it says sharpens the intellect, reduces daydreaming and mental fantasy during meditation, lifts depression, opens the lower lobes of the lungs, especially when accompanied by deep diaphragmatic breathing. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name of it in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.